Hi guys, welcome to my universe. This is the bee. Yeah, the bee plasma. Topic of the video is an article that needs updating. It's a great article, it's an important article. It's about GitHub. ArcoLinux D, start here, GitHub as backup. This is, so I've seen, a little bit old, in the sense that nothing, well, GitHub has changed, but nothing has changed for the rest. This is still with the name Arch Merge. So if you're new to ArcoLinux, personally I started with ArcLab, and then we created Arch Merge, and Arch Merge is then evolved into ArcoLinux, because Arch Merge was the idea XFC OpenBox i3 done. But we started creating new 20 desktops, right? 20 desktops. So at some point in time we said this is no longer the project as we started it. And that's when ArcoLinux came into being. So ArcoLinux has all these projects. Let's not go into that. So we need this article to be updated. It's really old. We can have a look at the date. I think here somewhere, oops, at the date. Come on. No thanks. October 19, 2017. Whoa, right? Now, all the rest can stay. Why is it important that you put things on GitHub? Well, one of the things I've just explained to you guys on another video about ArcoLinux git i3 wm config. Voila. That's why it's interesting, because you can read the configurations. Look at that, that's me there. You can read your configuration from other people. And this guy gave here his dot file. So on GitHub, we find the technical part of all these guys. And who do I mean now? So Awesome has a configuration file. Put it online, share your knowledge with others, and they do too, and you learn from each other, right? DWM is here. So many things are here, all on the GitHub. And the fun thing is, if you're done whatever system you're on, the easiest thing is to actually say git clone and then your URL, your personal URL, and it will be super fast installed, downloaded, and so on. So that's old. It's probably not going to work anymore. That's really old, I think. Can we see? 4 years ago. All my time goes into ArcoLinux. So, GitHub. It's important to keep track of things, configuration files, as they call it, the dot files. If you want to reinstall BSPM in 6 months' time, you start not from scratch, but you start from your setup from 6 months ago and improve again, go further again. And that's what I like about it. It's indeed a sort of a backup system. So let's get started. Make an account. I've done everything for you guys. I've created a new mail system here, new mail name, so I can have a Gmail later on. And with the Gmail, we're going to create an account as well. So recording everything from A till Z. Sign into GitHub. Doesn't cost us anything. It's free. So github.com. If you really want to start from scratch, this is it. Sign up, sign in. Sign up is in my case. And then we go and have, we need to make a name that's unique, that's not existing. Let's see if creating GitHub works, because that's my mail, right? And with a dot, no problem. No, we can't use that. All right, so creating GitHub is going to be my name. Email address, I've created one special for that, so I'm never going to look at it any more after this video. It's going to be sitting there. And then the password. You know what I do? I use LastPass, and I'm going to create a difficult password just to be safe, right? And then all the rest. But first, pause the video, right? All right, I can copy paste. Control V is going to be my password. At least 15 characters or at least 8 characters including a number and lowercase and so on. Set me occasional product updates. Please solve this puzzle so we know you're a real person. Oh my god, pick the spiral galaxy. Okay, cool, I succeeded. Create account. We're gonna save this just to be sure, since it's not yet in LastPass. So it's here already. And who am I? Who? Right, software engineer, student. You just click, I suppose, I am a teacher. How much programming experience do you have? None, well, a little, right? What do you plan to use GitHub for? So those are things they can run their statistics on, I suppose. Schoolwork, okay. I'm interested in nothing of the sort, but you can type in things. Okay, complete setup. So you choose whatever you like, and then we're here. And there we go, right? We need we need to have this GitHub thing. Please verify your email address. Yep, it's me. And your email was verified, they say up here. What do you want to do first? Start a new project, collaborate with your team, learn about use. Might be actually not a bad thing. It's at the link, we can learn about the link. You see it at the bottom left, lab.github.com. So if we just remember that it starts with lab, then it's okay. We can always get it back, because you're never too old to learn. Find your first course, introduction, GitHub Actions, hello world, communication using Markdown. Good one. Learning should be fun, helpful, bot in there. Real first day on GitHub, first week, and so on and so on and so on. Definitely definitely coming back to this. It's just a link. You need to remember lab. Okay. Not now, right? We're making a new video for this one. Now in this article we've created an account, fine, so all these screens are now in the video. How to set up your first project, that's that thing, and then more examples. What do they say? What do they say? I guess we're here now. Yeah. Start a new project, create a repository, click. This is important. If it's private, nobody else can see it, so public, and then everybody can see it. And I'm now, well, this is the owner, creating GitHub repository name, right? We need to do something as repository. I have no idea what to do, obviously, otherwise I would have said something already. So let me give me some time. Because you have here options, initialize this repository with. Skip this step if you're importing an existing repository. Well, that's the thing. Well, will I use an existing repository? No, let's start from scratch. Add README file. This is where you can write a long description for your project. Learn more. Add gitignore. And what we have, action scripts. Oh la 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 la. No, just the gitignore. We do need to have a template. There is no way around it. We need to have a template. I'm looking for Git, but I don't see it. Gitignore template. And we'll make it ourselves, or just do none. Let's see what we get. Choose a license. A license tells other people what it is. For instance, it's a GNU General Public License version 3. Okay, all the rest is okay. Still no clue what to do here. So maybe you know that I have a Eric Dubois GitHub and that there is something called Nemesis on there. So why not have that particular name again? Now I can type a lot of things. Nothing exists, right? S is available. I mean, SS is available. I can type anything because I have just one repository. If I make one called Nemesis, I can't make another one Nemesis. It's unique, right? Description, just for teaching, right? Not gonna use it ever again, just to be clear. And that's it. So this could be your place on the internet where you say, I'm gonna back everything up, because the way I like it now, it's great, and the .config I have now is awesome, and all the settings, I figured it out. It took me 2 days. I want to have, and there it comes, after a clean installation, I want to have the .config back. All these files need to be back. All these hours and days of work, I need them back. All right. Okay. Done, right? Creating repository. Read the guide. Okay. I shall at some point in time. And yes, you can change some pictures up here. You'll know how to do that. The main thing is, how do we get it on our machine? How do we manage this GitHub? And I see that my tutorials are well used, because I see GitHub's coming with my code, and that's good. That's what it's there for. What do I mean by that? Well, you can either type every command, like always, or you can make scripts that are typing your commands one by one after each other. And you just need to do one thing, and that's it. So the way to get our elements, or .config for example, on Nemesis here, that means I need to push it to the internet. And next time when I do a clean install and everything is gone, I do a git pull, or actually a git clone, and I reapply everything to my system, BSP, WM, awesome configs, anything. Doesn't matter what it is, you can push anything to GitHub. Okay, how and where are these scripts? So these scripts get these two files, they say up here, ArcoLinux D, ArcoLinux budgie, but they're all over the place. They're all over the place. ArcoLinux D, let's take a look here. Git version 1, okay? Git version 1, there's the readme, there's the license, and the setup are Git credentials. That's something specific for us, but that's a good idea. Let's do that. Let's make this personal, starting with this. Now, probably you're gonna find that 2 years ago, you're gonna find others, in the sense that they will be more recent, but it's still the same. It's still basically the Git version 1. And if we go to ArcoLinux itself, one of the last things I've done, for instance this one, I don't know, still Git version 1. You see, it's still the same thing. So probably, I don't know where I'll get a version 2 or version 3, but it doesn't really matter. Just good luck. So we need to get these files. You can either say, I'm gonna zip this, git clone this, it's all good, or you're gonna read this first and say what's in here. So he's checking everything is up to date, git pull everything. Okay, everything is now up to date. Then git add all. Anything that I have is now inside, well, I don't know the technical term anymore, but Git says this is the list that I need to push. Then it needs to have a comment first, so write your commit comment, and then the input is read, and you get the commit and the name, whatever you typed here, your comment is going to go in here, and then we push everything. It's basically simple, but otherwise I have to type everything. I have to do all these things, and it's boring. Raw, let's do a raw instead of deleting instead of downloading everything. We can do a Control-C. I'm moving too fast. I'm moving too fast. This is cool. Okay, we need this later, not now, not yet. Here we are. This is online. I need this locally on my machine because I want to copy this thing. I want to copy this thing. Where is this thing? Raw. I want to copy this thing into my own script. First, I need to have this. So I'm gonna go for code and this URL. Copy. And then of course you have to make some kind of structure, right? Where will I put it? Is everything going to be in a certain file? We have our own Arco file and the data file and all the rest. I'm just gonna put it on desktop and say open terminal and git clone Ctrl-Shift-V. It's simple, right? You're on a new machine, on ArcoLinux, on Manjaro, on KOS. Doesn't matter, it's all Arch. And you get your configuration in. You get your scripts in that say sudo pacman -s Firefox, sudo pacman -s Sublime Text, and I don't know what else, right? All the packages you like and love in a script. Why not? So here is the README, it's just a text file. We can say this is my Nemesis script. Just type, just for teaching, and you just keep adding things. Let's type something extra. Only it's normal. Use this with care. Wow, that's better than SDF anyway. Ctrl S. Here you write what you want to do for later. If you 6 months later you come to the GitHub and say, why did I create this? That's what you're gonna put in here. The license, unimportant, but if you want to have a look. Okay, just an easy way to get the license out of the way. And then, okay, now we're gonna do our copy paste. You need to have something to manage your GitHub. Ctrl C. It's called Git version 1. You can call it any way you see fit, but let's call it Git. Anyway, Git, right? If you want to work with versions or not, that's entirely up to you. It's often interesting to work with versions, then you still know, hey, why do I have a version 2? Ah, yeah, because I changed something here and the other one doesn't need it. So you know, okay, there is something changed. So it's my advice, work with versions. Over the years, you'll have different versions. Ctrl V. This is Sublime Text. All the colors, they're nice, they're great. And they are gonna change if I make a mistake. You say, oh, what's this? Why is this yellow? Because it doesn't stop. Ctrl S. So now we have a Git version 1. So that's one thing. Now there was another thing that also is part of the administration, which has changed over time, of course. We have now 6 core members, right? I have to think. 6 core members. And we've just made something here. Arco, Marco, Raniel, John, Steve, Brad. Right? And a few more for the future. Fakes. So for myself, I've put some things in here. Problem solving commands. I always forget them. The git reset, hard things, git fetch, git things that helped me in the past are in here. But there you should get your knowledge. Atlassian, I've learned a lot about GitHub on the website of Atlassian. But can we reuse it somehow? Yeah, let's make a raw. Ctrl A, Ctrl C. And then let's go back to our system and create document, set up credentials. Who am I? Basically, GitHub wants to know after a clean installation, who are you? Right, a check. So yeah, we need this to run this just once. That's a good thing, and GitHub will never ask it again. Now, this is the setup credentials from us, which means there's a lot of folks. So basically, what you can do is say, I'm just the Eric guy, right? I'm just Eric guy. Do nothing, Eric. 0, we did nothing. 1, we do all this. 2, there is no 2. There is just Eric. So you choose, of course, your own first name. And here we end. Voila. So basically a case structure. If I choose 0 or 1, if it is 1, do nothing. If it is, sorry, if it's 0, we do nothing. If it's 1, then we say my name is Eric Dubois. That's still the same, but my email officially in this video is creating GitHub. I think it was that I took. I will never forget. Voila. That's all you need to do. Change your name, change the email, and the rest is set. Of course, if you learn more and more about GitHub, then you change all these things the way you see fit. And that's it. Ctrl S. So on my machine, I need to be first, well, this is my work machine, right? So this is set as ArcoLinux, which means that I have to convince the computer that there is nobody here, that nobody's using GitHub. That's great that this is in the video, because I think not many people know that. So if you have 2 accounts, which I have, ArcoLinux, Eric Dubois, right? 2 accounts, then you're always into trouble. But if you know that Eric, Ctrl H, so you go to your home directory, you go to cache, right? And delete the Git folder. This needs to be deleted. Credential. That's why I use the word, right? So delete Git. Home eric.cache git is out. He's forgotten who I am. And now I'm gonna tell him who I am. I'm gonna use my setup credentials. Let's check it again, where everything is okay. I'm gonna say rebase false, otherwise we get all these strange messages. And yeah, I can of course call it creating username. True, Eric. I wonder, no, I think I can keep Eric Dubois. I think that's okay. Username. Let's learn, right? Let's learn. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's the email that's important. Let's see. So that's one. Let's see what it brings, what it will do. A little bit bigger, a little bit longer, like this. So point/setup, and then you say, why is it not working? Tab is broken. My tab is broken. Means that it's not yet executable. It means probably this one is not executable either. What did we do? We created a file. That's it. So now it's an application. Now we can run it. Now I can say setup tab, and then choose wisely. 1 time setup after clean install. 1, boom, and off we go. You see, I give here the tip: delete the cache Git folder if you made a mistake or if you want to switch to a personal GitHub. The knowledge is there. All right, now I want to get this thing. The git ignore is not here. So, voila, we can add. Let's make it complete, right? Git ignore. Voila. And if I would have a rubbish folder, let's call it a rubbish folder, right? Things that I have that should not go on the internet. That's git ignore. Things that are there, and I say to the system in the file git ignore the folder. It can mean also ignore a file. It can also mean ignore anything with Arco. Stuff like that. All right, so we'll see that rubbish will never go online. That's a good test. What we do want to see online, let's go here. License, readme, is the rest. Let's push it. So the first time we created something, a first file, second file, then folders and so on, and there's no problem to creating this. .config. It's no problem. So the hidden folders, there it is. Control, oh yeah, it's not a folder. Well, that was a hidden file, right? Hidden folder. So config. It all goes online. Well, Eric, leave it, right? Leave it. And then we push. Git version 1 means, let's take a look again, go over it again. Repetition stays in the head. First is going to check on the internet. Is there something new? Why do I do that? I have several computers. So I push something on one computer and it's on the internet. But on my other computer, the new stuff is still on the internet and not on locally. So first I'll pull everything from the internet so that the change I made in PC 1 that went to the internet is now also on PC 2. And then I'm going to add anything new that I've made here. Best thing is always think about git pulling before you change. But okay, things can go wrong or we can forget, and then we have this script. First git pull, and then we are going to add everything. Everything that's new is going to be added. I need to say something. It's gonna leave it, we'll see later where the text comes, and then we're pushing everything from here to the internet. Okay. We're almost done, guys. Push. Checking for newer files. There are no newer files. What did I do now? This is for later and certainly for between ArcoLinux members, in a sense core members, right? We all work on the same GitHub, that we try to explain what we did. It's sometimes difficult and sometimes we forget and sometimes a typo, and it's all good. But this is of course just for you. But what did I do now? I created administration files. Added administration files. What else? I did a git ignore. I've added that. You can add signs like that, no problem. Better to read. Git ignore. What did we do more? Administration files is git any setup. Change to readme. Wow. Okay, cool. Rubbish file, rubbish folder. Added and .config. Now we've made a long text. You make it as long as short as you like. Enter. Then we need to push to the folder. So one thing is good. This is okay. But I need to change things. I see there are mistakes. So let's see what I did here. That looks good. So it's an interesting file, this one. This needs to be correct. Sometimes we change our names and say, oh, I made a typo, but it should be here as well, the URL. So that's okay. So I need to get to the password. He needs to ask my password. And that's not done yet. I think I might have the reason why that is. I've changed something that I shouldn't change, so I'm gonna go back. I don't think it's this thing, creating GitHub. I don't think it's that, but I just noticed something that is strange. So Eric Dubois is back. I was never gone, really. And then set up credentials. So back to Eric Dubois as name. If I do git version 1, we get this. That's the text. Still failed to push. Now it hit me when it says here source reference master does not match any. I just noticed somewhere very fast that GitHub for this account, for this person, right? He called it main. And on ArcoLinux it's all just master, so we're good. Everything works. But And how did I find that out? You go to issues, pull requests. Where did I find it? Code. Here it is, main. I said, main? Main, right? And not master. So let's go back and try again. Ctrl-Shift-V. And there we go. Now we need to just type in our login and password, and then we can continue. So the username, creating GitHub. This matters, of course. This is not ArcoLinux, this is creating GitHub. And now I need to find the password that's hidden somewhere on my system. All right, found the password. It's updated. And refresh, right? We push to the internet, then we go and have a look and say, okay, what did we do? We added git ignore. Our rubbish folder is not there. License is there, readme. We've changed it, use this with care. So this thing is this thing. Git version 1 is here, and setup credential is here. And yeah, I was just thinking, actually you can reuse maybe better this particular Nemesis GitHub to get you started. That would be a good idea, and everything will stay online. And you can reuse it. The only thing, again, let's end with that. The only thing you should do is, of course, change here the Eric, and change here into your own name, and change into your own Gmail. And that's basically it. All the rest will just be fine. And then I can conclude this video, and it's going to be the update for this particular article that has been there for a while. All right, guys, have fun creating new repositories, new packages. And a PS here. PS, if you are at some point in time, of course, you can't learn everything in one time, but there is something called Cardi, right? Make your own ISO, starting from Arch ISO package. And yes, you need repositories and repos and packages, and that's where GitHub comes into that we need to have actually a package inside our system. If we do Control-T and we update, we have our repos. Repos are coming from, yes, GitHub, making repositories. And we can update. All right, guys, I'm out. Cheers.